thanks everyone for coming out. Are the slides up? Okay. So as Dave said, we're Labrador Uranium. We're advancing and exploring a proven uranium district that's in Labrador, the Central Mineral Belt. Forward-looking statements. So just this is the sort of summary of the company. It was created and listed last year, early last year, by an established group of company builders. It was really the coming together of Consolidated Uranium, our project, the Moran Lake project, with Altius Minerals and Mega Uranium. We all put a series of properties together into this company. And since then, we've added significant technical expertise to the company, both in uranium exploration, but also in using large data sets to explore, which is a very important component of this project. It's been explored for 50 years, and there's this abundance of data that we're working with. And we have experience in Labrador, and also, as I said, uranium deposits, but also IOCG deposits, which the project's prospective for. We have a very large project at over 150,000 hectares. We have existing in-ground resources and potential for new discoveries. Again, this is a bona fide camp. You'll see in a second, the Paladin owns the very large Michelin project in this camp, and effectively, we own all the other ground. And we think the timing's very well, the timing for this opportunity is great. Uranium interest is rebounding, and with the shift toward the green economy, and there's a lot more investment interest coming into the space. Snapshot of the company, we have about 70 million shares outstanding right now. We're trading at 40 cents, so just under a 30 million market cap, and we're very well funded with over $10 million on the balance sheet, including $7 million of flow-through, which is all directed to exploration on the project this year. We're very well institutionally held, which doesn't particularly show up here, but we also have big shareholders of Altius Minerals and Mega Uranium. Again, they helped vend those original projects into the company. David Talbot covers the story. In terms of the team, my background, as Dave pointed out, I've been in the uranium space since 2006, worked a number of different jobs in the space, mostly on the financial market side, as an investment banker, as a buy-side analyst and a sell-side analyst. And about 5 years ago, I left and became an entrepreneur. I started the first uranium royalty company. I was the CEO of that for 2 years while it was private. It's now public. And then about 3 years ago, I went out and started Consolidated Uranium, the company that this asset came out of. We have a good team on the board, of course, lots of uranium experience, but also the technical team you can see there. They have, again, tremendous experience in uranium exploration and also using the big data sets, which we'll talk more about. So the Central Mineral Belt, it's a prolific area. It's 260 kilometers long, and it's endowed with significant minerals, both for uranium, copper, and other elements. You'll see in a second our resources. Labrador itself is a tremendous jurisdiction for mining. It's ranked very highly by the Fraser Institute. There's existing mines there. There's infrastructure. I think what's important about the area and why we're very excited about it is historically the exploration has been very much limited to surface prospecting. All of the mines that are in production today were found that way. There hasn't been a lot of modern exploration, particularly looking deep below the surface, and that's the kind of work that we're doing on our project. Here's the land package. Talk about it being very large. It's the dominant position in the camp. You can see there, again, it's about 125 kilometers long, over 150,000 hectares, near a very large deposit. If you can see there on the eastern side of the map, the Michelin deposit, it's about 130 million pounds. That was discovered in the 70s and was advanced significantly. It's currently held by Paladin Energy, and effectively we own the whole camp around them. It's the first time that all of this ground outside of that Michelin deposit has been in one hand. And we have two deposits on our project. We have the Moran Lake C-Zone, which is in the eastern side, and you can see it's circled there. It's both uranium and vanadium, almost 10 million pounds of uranium, over 130 million pounds of vanadium. And on the eastern side, we have the Analyte Deposit, just about 5 million pounds of uranium. And what's very interesting there is it's close to Michelin, so if Michelin becomes developed, we think that Analyte area will be very interesting. And our strategy really here is dual focus. So what we're doing is we're looking at those resources that we have, expanding on those resources, near-term growth, both for uranium and vanadium. But we also have this district-wide approach, target generation. We have the Mustang Lake project. This is the project that we picked up from Mega Uranium, and then the rest of the belt. And I'll show you some slides of the work that we're doing there, but we think it's extremely prospective for new discoveries. Here's the Morin Lake C zone. We acquired this in consolidated uranium first and spun it out last year. Significant historic work has been done here. Over $25 million has been spent between 2006 and 2013. It went dormant until we bought it and consolidated. There's a resource estimate. There's the detail of it there. There's uranium and vanadium together, and then there's a vanadium-only zone. And we think there's a lot of potential to expand that resource, both along strike, at depth, and in new areas in the whole Morin Lake corridor. So what did we do last year? We had our first drill program. We drilled 6 holes for just about 2,200 meters. If you look at that map there, you can see the existing resources. They're outlined in the red blobs. And most of the resources fit in that C-zone corridor, kind of in the center of the image there. Our focus for the drilling is to try to extend that resource within that A1 corridor. And so we drilled 5 holes there. 3 of them hit uranium mineralization at the resource grade or above, at widths that would be in the resource. Importantly, in hole 200, which is the first hole listed, not only did we hit multiple zones of mineralization. We hit the zone that we were expecting up higher in the hole at that 55-meter level, but further down, we were testing a theory that the mineralization, there's potential for higher grade mineralization, but also thicker mineralization. And over about 30 to 70 meters, we found multiple zones of mineralization, including grades up to 0.3% over half a meter, and 1.4 meters at 0.08%. It's very encouraging, new area, new model, which our team came up with, and we're very excited to get back in there next year. 2 additional holes also hit, as I said, grades and thicknesses consistent with the historic resource. So the A1 corridor is going to be a big focus of our work program going forward. Some of our other target areas, we talked about the Analyte Deposit. We picked up this project late last year. Again, it has almost a 5 million pound uranium resource. It's never been, this analyte trend is what we're calling it, has never been in one hand before. And so we really think there's a potential for what we would talk about as being pearls on a string, other deposits like Analyte in that corridor. And so we're going to get boots on the ground there for the first time this summer and see what we have there and look to drill either this summer or next year. We also have Mustang Lake. This is the project we picked up from Mega Uranium. You can see where it sits. Again, it's very close to the Michelin deposit. It has historic drill results, including uranium at over 0.1%, and has been underexplored in our opinion. And so we've got some geophysics programs lined up for that project this year. Again, that will inform our drill plans for next season. Regional potential. It's hard to express how big this project is and how much data there is. And so when we got a hold of the projects, we wanted to really look at it with a new lens, pull all this data together. And so what we've been doing is using machine learning and artificial intelligence to take all that data, put it into a database, and analyze it. And basically, the idea is to move from the known to the unknown. And so it's look at the signatures of known mineralization and try to figure out where the unknown mineralization is. And so what we show here is the results of the first phase of that program. And you've got 2 maps there. Again, there's a lot of technical detail behind here, but what I would highlight in these maps is you look at those red areas, and on the left-hand side is the copper, and on the right-hand side is uranium, and those red areas are very exciting areas for us in terms of where to go next to find the next uranium deposit and potentially the next copper copper deposit on this project. We're doing a lot more work here. There's a huge amount of data that still needs to be entered into this system, and we're going to be flying a property-wide gravity survey this summer to go and add more data to the database and potentially light up additional targets. Why should anyone care about Labrador uranium? Where can it go? When we put the company together, we looked back into history and said, like, how can this company be successful? What's the model? And the model is really a company called Aurora Energy. And Aurora was founded in 2006 by Altius, our partner here. And it was around the Michelin deposit. And when it was started, it had a relatively small resource, similar to what we have at just around 35 million pounds. Over a period of a couple of years, with a significant amount of dollars spent on exploration, they expanded the resource to that 130 million pound level that we talked about. And over that period of time, from 06 to sort of the middle of 07, market cap went to about $1.3 billion. That project was ultimately taken out by Paladin, but this is the pathway that we see for the company. We see the pathway in terms of resource growth potential from what we've just articulated, and then of course over that period of time the uranium market was fully into a bull market. Uranium prices went up to $137. That helped generate that market cap, of course. We think we're in the same situation today. Uranium at $50. Our project, with the resources that we have, grow those resources in tandem with the uranium market moving, and we could have a similar type of trajectory for the stock and the value of the company. Catalyst for the year, again, just reinforcing our dual focus. It's near-term resource growth, so it's get on the ground at Analyte, identify areas to drill around the existing deposit and other areas where we think there might be additional deposits, follow-up drill program at Morin Lake. And then on the district-wide side of the strategy, it's do this airborne survey that I mentioned, geophysics at Mustang Lake, and further refining the machine learning and artificial intelligence programs. So in summary, it's a district-scale opportunity in a well-known multi-commodity metal belt with historic resources, verified potential for expansion. We have a strong shareholder base, we're well-funded, and it's led by a proven mining and exploration team.